Most people are participating in way too much pressure. What I refer to as actionable pressure is actually too much pressure or not enough pressure. Now, why is too little pressure or too much pressure even an issue at all? Too little pressure, then you're not gonna have your structure about you. I call this mushing in. You're not gonna have your structure to be able to stop someone from getting into your center and dominating distance. You have to be able to dominate distance. So too little pressure allows them right on in to what's going on. Too much pressure, it puts you at a disadvantage where you can get hit or you can get thrown. You're overcommitted to what's going on. You're reaching, you're throwing yourself into the person, and that's just not very smart. So today we're going to talk about a concept that I have that I call baseline. And baseline is that specific amount of pressure that is not too much and not too little. When you have someone pushing in on you really hard and you are basically meeting that energy, holding it, what you're doing in that instance, holding on to it is you're actually participating in their struggle. This is not what you're supposed to be doing in Wing Chun. In Wing Chun, it's all about deflections. Deflections shouldn't feel like much. Now, how do you get your body to be able to deflect? Well, it has to do with position, but that is not the only thing that it has to do with. It has to do with how hard you're putting certain muscles in your body to engage them very, very hard, and how to keep positions really, really well. So we want our shoulders down, we want our lats really, really engaged, we want our elbows in, we don't want our elbows flaring out. So these are some positional elements and muscular elements that are happening within the body. You also need to engage your glutes. You need to have the pelvic tilt, not too much, but pelvic tilt to where your spine is going directly into the ground. And you also need to squeeze as well the legs together. The same thing that's happening upstairs is happening downstairs. This is Wing Chun. Both arms and legs, both shoulders and hips are all going the same thing. So back to actionable pressure. What is it? How much is it? Well, in a video, I can't come up to you and say, here, feel this. This is specifically the amount of actionable pressure you need to have. But I'm going to do my best to describe it for you so that you can try your best to get an understanding. And I can tell you it is not very much. The old Tai Chi books, the classics, will tell you that 4 ounces deflects 1,000 pounds. And what that means is it's not very much. I used to think that was just a saying, but the longer I go in practicing Wing Chun and the internal type of Wing Chun, the more I understand that that is not just a saying, that they truly honestly mean that. You don't need it. You don't need to take on more pressure than that. And the only reason that we do is because we have not developed the correct specific muscles and positions and energy required for deflection. So actionable pressure is not very much. How do you find how little? Well, how little is just imagine yourself as water. You're a body of water, and then there is a dam holding the water. Now, it's building up, but it's not like it's pressing too much. Trying to describe this on video is very, very difficult, and that's why I always recommend that if you have if you have someone that's close to you for good Wing Chun training, I have to always recommend that first over video. Wing Chun is a feeling art. It is. However, with that in mind, there is a lot of crap out there that is called Wing Chun, and there are very few Wing Chun people that are actually that good. That is the reality of it. I've met a lot of different Wing Chun people, and very few of them, I can really count on one hand how few of them are actually high level, at least within those that are considered Sifus. Now, Anyway, bottom line is learn hands-on if you can. If you can't, my videos, if you look at them, there is so much information in these videos. My decades of hard work is within these videos. How much you're going to appreciate it? Well, that's how much. That's determined on how much depth you go and you read or listen to my videos and what I'm talking about. Actionable pressure is really that much that is, you can either feel a gap or you can feel pressure that that you can ride, some kind of wave. If there's no wave to it, if you can't ride the wave, then that's it. So you could think of yourself as a surfer, and you're just there, you're sitting, you're waiting for the wave, and as soon as you feel it, unlike visual where, you know, the surfer sees the wave coming, they can start, get in a position and go ahead and paddle to it. Well, what we're doing is we're already in contact with them, assuming, and then you feel that and then you take energy. For instance, energy that's coming into you, you would want to feel that. And then maybe just lower it slightly. Subtle little movements are what makes Wing Chun so amazing, and also what other people don't understand of how Wing Chun can work so well and so when someone does it correctly. So actionable pressure is that amount of pressure which you must take action on. It is beyond baseline. It is no mush. If someone's pressing into you, you don't mush. But at the same time, when someone's pressing into you and you go away, you're not really like pushing the hand back into them. What drives the motion in Wing Chun, or at least what points the motion in Wing Chun, are the knees and the elbows. And when you think that way, that's similar to actions of, think of the knees and the elbows as the point of a speedboat. And in the back of the boat, or any boat, right? Any boat, you've got the engine in the back. The engine is going to be your what's sunk into the ground, and this includes the bones wise, it's curled under, it's the spine, pelvis tilts so the spine can get anchored into the ground, and then the scapulas or shoulders come down, the shoulders tilt under so that you can get that into the ground. So you've got kind of two motors, and then you have you've got two points or bows of the boat that are coming forward towards the other person. So this is how you think about it. This information that I'm giving you really is golden. But yet at the same time, without your ability to appreciate it on a higher level, you're not going to be able to apply it. So you've got to really listen to these things over and over and over, and I've got so many videos that you can do this with, but you've got to put in the time. You've got to watch these videos. You've got to listen to them over and over and over in order to understand, even to have a prayer of understanding what I'm talking about. If not, if you're watching one of these videos or even half of these videos, you're not going to understand it. There's just too much here. Now, I am here for help. Not if, but when you need help, email me, contact me. Wherever you are in the world, I will try my best to help you. So, understanding what is too little, most people don't have a problem understanding what is too little of pressure. They don't have that problem. But what they do, most people have a problem with, is understanding how much is too much. When you solidify your body, you really, really go hard. And how hard? I'm talking about hard to where you're cramping. You're going so hard, you have this foundation that you do not have to press so hard against the other person. It's really a really cool thing. And this is the idea, one of the points that is the difference between an internal martial art and an external martial art. Internal martial arts are all about you. They are all about how hard you're working. And to say that an internal martial art is soft on the inside is incorrect, because there is a lot of internal animation or just a lot of work that's going on. However, the amount of work that's going into the other person in an internal art is very little. So this is a big difference. The external work is all about trying to throw everything you have into this other person. External doesn't care about root. It doesn't really care about that. It's caring about throwing all of that into there. So, and really getting as much power as you possibly can in those moments. So it is about, external is very, very, very much about speed and power. And if it's less about speed and power, then maybe it's a little bit more on the, even if it is an external type martial art, then maybe it's a little bit more into the internal side. So we've got all, you can slice it many different ways. Just because something's considered an external martial art doesn't mean it can't be a little bit more on the internal side, depending on the person that's doing it, the lineage that's doing it. Same thing for an internal martial art, it could also do that. So there's a whole range of things. So really, really in this internal art of Wing Chun, really, really put a lot of work into yourself so that you don't have to do too much against the other person. When you're in that position and someone gives you soft, precise energy, I say precise energy because most people's energy, they give way too much and they're not precise. They have no idea where their energy's headed. They're pushing and then all of a sudden they feel a change and then they go and fight all different directions. But if you get precise energy right into you, very precise, it can't be too hard, because the moment it becomes too hard is the moment you're becoming imprecise. Very important as we go through. So it's got to be strong, it's got to be here, it's got to be strong here, but then light and very precise. Then, once you have this precision, get your knees and your elbows going. Don't lose your root, don't rock forward, don't lean, but man, then you can take action on this pressure. You can take action when they're giving you loss. You can take action when they're giving you a pushing energy, or what we call compressive energy. You can take action when they're giving you an energy outside, and you can take action in another way. If they're giving you a down energy, you can do something to roll around that, generally down energy towards the foible or the weaker part of the hand. You're gonna release and come around, right? You're gonna, or release down, rolling and coming around in another way. There's all kinds of different ways, but there's specifics to all these different pressures. It is not just a random thing. Someone does this to you, then you do this technique. That is incorrect. Everything is very specific. So in my videos, what I will be doing is going through all the specifics of these things. And if you don't understand what's going on, or if I've left something out, please ask me. I want to help you, because everything needs to make sense to you. It needs to be clear, and I understand it can be very complex in the beginning. There's a lot to it, but I can help you simplify that and be more clear as we go through. So actionable pressure. No mush, no push. Baseline. Baseline means you are ready for loss at all times. You're not pushing too much. If someone's on you here and you're trying to go and be ready for loss, but they go away and then you all of a sudden come in and you're like a racehorse at the line, then you haven't done it correctly. So it's got to be smooth. It's got to be here, they go away, and you smoothly come forward, just like water. So hopefully this video has helped you to understand a little bit more about actionable pressure, as well as so many other things such as baseline. I've gone through quite a few things. Ask me questions below. Subscribe to my channel. I'm Adam Willis. Thank you much.